The History of Theater by me, Drew Pierce. So the theater dates back to ancient Greece and Rome. The first known written plays were in the 6th century BC. They were tragedies, comedies, and satire. They used an emphasis on the chorus of the production. In Rome, the first plays were written by Greek imports in 2040 BC. They took a lot from Greece and other cultures. They emphasize on chariot races, mimes, and gladiators. Then you go to the English Middle Ages. They were centered around Catholicism and the rise of Protestantism. They were religious dramas, and they were located in the British Isles and in Spain. They used liturgical dramas. They were put on the Catholic Church to teach the values of the Church. They also had mystery plays, which were anonymously written by playwrights. They used rhyme and biblical references. Finally, they had morality plays, which talked about the miracles of saints. Then the Reformation put a halt to these plays. Out of the West, like China and Japan, theater was also going on. There was Zen Buddhism, and China had the No Theater, and Japan had the No Theater, and China had the Beijing Opera. In the Golden Ages, also known as the Western Renaissance, was the Golden Age of Spain. This was from 1580 to 1680, and over 1,000 plays were produced in this time. There were religious plays, dramas, cloak and sword plays, brief plays in between each play. The Protestant Reformation was causing distress to the theatrical community. Both France and England put a halt to plays in the 1550s. Now, Shakespeare was very influential during the Golden Ages. He emphasized the relationship between actor and producer by being both at the same time. Then, Classicism set into play. The period of time after the Renaissance that revitalized Greek and Roman theater. It was first developed by the Italians, revolving around reality, universality, and morality. Comedies had happy endings, and tragedy had unhappy endings. This time had very strict guidelines to what was produced. Then the melodramas came. This was music drama and described the social situations of the Industrial Revolution. They used heroes and villains. In the 19th century, it took place in France and in Ireland. Modern drama. So you have realism. The realism was the stage after melodrama and exposed the problems of the 19th century society. You had various forms of realism like naturalism, symbolism, and expressionism. Then you had absurdism, which is a very extreme event like war and the Holocaust that productions were about. This placed the world as very hostile and evil. Then you got to postmodernism, which is to steer away from the cause to effect kind of style and led to more open-ended narratives. In the beginning, plays were put on in ancient Greece and Rome to introduce a chorus and to entertain. As the art of theater progressed, Catholicism and Protestantism rose to take over the theaters in Europe. Places like England and Spain housed plays put on by the church to teach about said religion. Then leaders of the European countries during the Renaissance put a halt to productions because of the tension between religions. After Shakespeare inputted his 2 cents about the complex characters, the world went back to ancient Greek and Roman style productions. Neoclassicism has strict rules to follow when making the plays. After this, the things got a little more personal and intricate. People started to make productions that are based on societal and scientific thoughts. Finally, play has become more and more open-ended for people to interpret.